Kriya, the hula hoop gal, Janet Butler, the silent writer, Chris Johnson, the truth with love, John White, the wisdom man, Jeanne Alleva, the singer in the rain, and Jeanne, the German cat, Red Redfern, the Q&A man, Gemma Ramiki, the Calypso queen, Unker, he's smooth like rum, Listra Tua, the counter day late, and we all fall in love. Julianne, one keeps it real and true, loves the land and the morning dew. Minnow Miller makes the image come alive. Time can't fade that inner face. Sherry Dursway lives every day with the future, not the plan. Knows the sky where the eagle sings and the wind flies high. Oh, we're rolling down this back road, sweet release. Love and laughter flow like island breeze. From the hills of home to the sea's embrace, we find our way through time and space.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope that you're all doing fabulously, amazingly well. I hope my sound is good. I probably, again, should have checked that. But I hope that all of you are having a fabulous, amazing day. I had to rest up yesterday because I had surgery on the weekend on my mouth again. And I am good now until the 13th, and then I have one more. So then I'm done. Yay! Good news. So today I thought we would react to a question and answer session, although for some reason I feel like there's going to be a lot of questions and no answers. It is run, of course, by Andy Berks, everybody's favorite numbers guy, and Jeanne Alleva, everybody's favorite space cadet, Collins Manna, everybody's favorite tech pro. I'm sure of it. I'm sure you all just love him. And Red Redfern, who we actually haven't really seen a lot of. I haven't reacted to Red in a little bit, so it will be quite interesting to see what Red is saying about everything. I don't think we've heard from him since Marty left, so that will be interesting. And Jelly Snack is here. No A to be found. No A. Lots and lots of questions. I'm sure there are. Greetings, Joe and GD954. It's not about the answers, but the friends you made along the way. Isn't it? Mr. Level is here, and Nev made it, and Alves is in it to scam it, and Capone Boxer is here. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Redbeard had a quiet weekend. Maybe not. Maybe I can still talk. There actually might not even be any questions. Interesting. I've only kind of gone through it briefly just to see, a little bit of what happened. I have not watched this whole thing, though. So I am very excited to see what happens. My whole thing is that it's kind of like, what questions do we have? Like, what is going on right now? I mean, my big question would be, where's my money from the O Connect? But maybe that's just me. My next big question would be, is OnPassive actually gone? Because we're still not sure if is OnPassive still going. Have they ended OnPassive and they're on to something else? It's hard to tell based on them. Half of them seem to have accepted that OnPassive has ended. and that they're supposed to move on to the New Direction Company, although it might not be called New Direction Company. Disappointing. And the other half are still really, really holding on to OnPassive. Like, they just won't let it go. They're like, no, OnPassive is happening. It's about to launch. And today there was an update in the back office, and I've already shared it on my community tab, but not all of you read that. So we'll just go through it again. Go through it again here quickly. You know? If someone excels and thrives, will they actually be able to live comfortably on that income alone? In an MLM company, no. Because the average that people make in an MLM company is honestly about $200 annually. So nobody can live off of that. Nobody can. That would be a good question, though, to ask. Let it go, let it go. So, O News number 9 update. Your commitment, our update. Which I was like, that's like a weird title, but okay. You are to be highly complimented. Right off the bat, going in strong, you know? We recently invited you to participate in a brief survey to let us hear your voices. Your response was truly extraordinary. In fact, so many of you sent in your survey answers that it far exceeded even our most optimistic projections. Which I'm like, well, how much did you really project for this survey? You know what I mean? Like, you knew that everyone was going to answer it how they thought you wanted it to be answered. You know? I'm just saying. The level of engagement was nothing short of remarkable, and the message you sent us was loud and clear. Well over 90% of you said you are totally committed to sticking with us, no matter the time frame. I'm shocked. So shocked by this. We couldn't be more impressed or more grateful. Your dedication inspires us every day, they say in the cult. Now it's our turn to speak directly to you. Aren't we lucky? We are excited to announce an important event. Please mark your calendars. And this is when it gets kind of funnier. And they go, you are invited to attend our global address. Live update number 1. Featuring Ash Mufareh, the man himself, Sir Lord of the Internet. Then they call it a State of the Union address, which a lot of people really loved. This special State of the Union address will update all of you, our devoted followers around the globe, and share important information about the journey ahead. How presidential, right? When? Thursday, August 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. I guess only if you're in the U.S. Find your local time at this timeanddate.com world clock converter, where, live on YouTube, the link will be shared here before the event. Make sure to mark your calendar. You won't want to miss this. As always, be sure to stay tuned to O News for more details. More details. You don't want to miss out on the details. I mean, that would be awful. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So, that is their big update. As you can see, they're going to be doing a stream on the 14th. I'm hoping that I will be able to stream snipe it, so stay tuned for that. Court Lister has a new update doc, approved consent judgment. Awesome. As soon as I can get it, I will. I don't have access to it. I only have access still to the August 7th one. So, let's get into this amazing question and answer session. I'm sure that all of our questions about what is coming is going to be answered in this amazing webinar. Ding.
We are live. Thank you for joining us, guys. I am joined by my close friends here, Jeanne Alleva, obviously the young lady, and my friends Collins and Red, which is
She's like a little rough Jeanne here. She usually looks a little bit more put together. I don't know. Is it just me?
great as ever. And yes, I'm back in time today, which is even better. A nice early day today. We're going to have a little chat today, so I'm going to pass you straight over to Red because I know Red's done his live earlier, and we're going to cover a few things that Red's covered in his live today and kind of take that a little bit further because there's 4 of us instead of just Red. So over to you, my friend.
Thanks very much, Andy. Nice to see you, Jeanne. Collins, always good to be amongst amazing minds and Andy such as yourselves. I do enjoy Tuesdays. It's nice and relaxed and laid back, and we have a good old chat about what we're looking at within the next phase and what our thoughts and views are. And what I was talking today was about the importance of moving forward in business and how crucial it is for sustained success, and also the relevance of it all, really. And there were so many parts of it that really resonated with me as far as this business is concerned. Learning from past experience, past failures,
But that's my thing. My thing is, has Ash actually learned? Has Ash actually learned from his past failures and mistakes, or is he just saying he has? Because see, my whole thing is that one of the mistakes he may have made, according to him even, is giving Muhammad Kamal so much power over Dubai, over the money, over what was going on with the Burj Khalifa office and all of that, right? Giving him basically a whole OnPassive LLC for himself. Because that led to fraud and money laundering and being investigated by the Dubai police, and all of the assets for OnPassive Technologies LLC being frozen by the UAE bank. So you would think that Ash would have learned from that mistake. Maybe don't, put the company in other people's names. Maybe that's not a great idea. Maybe make sure that you have full control over the company. But then, as the recovering Hunbot pointed out, when OnFusion Smart Technologies became the next new company, that was put in Ahmad Sawafta's name, and it wasn't in Ash Mufareh's name. We're not sure if Ash Mufareh can actually have many companies in his name. It sort of appears like he may have been using his wife's name. But OnPassive LLC was in his name. So that one at least is in his name. That is why the SEC is suing him and them, because that one's in his name. But the other ones were in like his wife's name and then other people's names. So again, you could argue that maybe Ash didn't learn from that mistake. There's lots of other mistakes that Ash has not learned from. For example, it appears that the survey app isn't ready to come out. Otherwise, why wouldn't it be uploaded into the back office right now? I mean, why wait, They've been waiting for long enough at this point, I think. I mean, it's been 7 years. How much longer do we need to wait, It's like, so Are we learning from mistakes? I could go on and on. I could list 5 million things that Ash is doing right now. You know, like announcing products before they're ready, getting people hyped up. Is there a tech team? Are we lying about that again? Because that's something that he's definitely done in the past. Because there was no tech team. Now there is. I could go on forever. It just doesn't appear that he has learned and that he is trying to do better. And that's my worry here, is that this man never seems to learn and try to do better. He just seems to blame everybody else, say it was everybody else's fault. He's perfect. He doesn't have to change anything. Everybody else just has to go. That's pissing him off. And then he just kind of keeps doing the same thing. You know? So it's a little bit like, have we learned? Have we? OnPassive, God's company, advocating by God's people. I think every single other Christian on this earth would like you to please stop using their God to scam. I'm just saying. Target. I used to follow all the teen moms from the MTV show, but they all got deals with MLMs. I wanted to get Scentsy from one of them so bad, and then she started selling that faux Pandora jewelry. Oh, yeah. I did Scentsy for a while. Ash keeps making the same mistakes, even worse the second. And see, that's how I feel. I feel like, if anything, we make bigger and worse mistakes. Not like we're not getting better, we're getting worse. So it's like, it's fine for him to come out and be like, I have learned from all the past mistakes. But that's just words. As we know, words mean nothing over here. Hello, Jelly! You know, I'm just like, oh, there's a lot of advocates. See, we need like me and Julia Anderson and always Marco here in Canada, because that's really it for Canada. The U.S. has a large community of people that speak out against scams and cults. It's Canada that's lacking. I already have 50 customers willing to pay anything for a survey app. Fiverr is the new tech team. Probably. The pink Cadillac that they have to stay at rank for. Otherwise, they do not get it paid, and then it will get repoed from them. There are horror stories of those pink Cadillacs getting repoed, along with all the other cars, because almost every MLM promises a car. Although it is true that Mary Kay's pink Cadillac is the most famous, and like everyone is aware of that one. Almost every MLM has what we refer to as the car deal. The car bonus. But again, you have to stay at that rank, make the same amount of money or more. If you don't, they don't pay the lease on that car that month. Because, yeah, it's not actually a bought car that they give to you. It's a leased car in your own name. We need a queen in South Africa, too. We have to learn to be able to follow in her footsteps. Yeah, you guys do need more scam people, too, to speak out. Ash is not involved in setting up the big corporate webinar. He doesn't appear to be. He just appears to be their special guest. Religious cults, yes, very important. It's left to the tech illiterate oldies. I'm wondering if Chris Johnson is doing it. Do you think it's Chris Johnson? Because wasn't it Marty before? And Marty's gone now. So he's not doing it this time. So who is doing that? You know, who is setting it up for them, I wonder? You know? I'm wondering. Is it Salmon Pink? And it's like a Pepto-Bismol pink is what it is. That's the best way I can describe it.
Ways pushing boundaries of technology within your own business to stay up to speed, making sure that you impress on customers how important they are, feedback, etc. And obviously that brought us nicely on, and I know that Collins is going to go on to this subject of how.
Yeah, because Collins is the tech guy here, so we're not going to get much tech talk today.
How our survey comes into that, because one of the biggest.
Yeah, please do explain to us, Collins, how our survey comes. I can't wait.
Parts now of any business is having customer feedback and to really see that whether they're happy with the products and services and you as a company itself. If you don't get if you don't use the mediums that are available to you to get the customer feedback, how are you going to improve and how are you going to change if you don't know what they're thinking? This is.
Well, here's the thing. You also have to know how to rate the surveys to actually get proper customer feedback. That isn't just, are you going to stay in the company? Are you going to be loyal to us? No matter how long it takes? Because that was the survey. Like, that's not an actual survey. Have you never taken one before?
Why surveys and feedback is so important as far as any business is concerned. But what I'd like to talk to about moving forward is really how the one.
If our dearly company finally arrived, what will you say? I'm just wondering what will come out from you. Well, if your dearly company ever actually does release a product and launch to the public, it will actually be more harmful of a cult of personality than it is right now. You see, right now, I'm just using it, as I've said on numerous occasions, as a way to kind of study how a multi-level marketing company goes from being an MLM into a straight-up cult. Not just a commercial cult, but a cult of personality, especially surrounding the leader. I feel like we missed an opportunity to study this as much as maybe we could have with Nexium, although now we can look back and look at how it kind of happened with Keith Raniere. I feel like this was a live example right here of how it happens. All the manipulation tactics were used, and what was funny about this one is it was kind of like the cult that you would never think could become a cult. Ash is almost like the anti-cult leader. Like, he's the opposite of what you would consider to be your typical cult leader. You know, your Jim Jones, your Marshall Applewhite, your Charles Manson. Almost said Marilyn Manson. Lord, that would have been funny, though. But besides that, right now you can't really accept any new recruits, so you're not getting new members. If you do launch as a company, I'll be speaking out more than I am now, because then you'll be trying to recruit other people, and by then it's really going to be a cult of personality, which is not that far off from being a religious cult. I mean, you guys are one step away from building a compound and moving in together. And having Ash come and sit on a throne as your king. You know? So, it's been an interesting case study into how the group dynamic forms as a cult. Because as Lamar points out, it wasn't necessarily Ash saying, hey, you guys should worship me, although it's not like he did much to deter it, and he's definitely added to it. What was interesting about this one is it was very much, especially the last year, the members indoctrinating themselves instead of a leader fully indoctrinating them, if you will. And that's always something that's very fascinating about online cults and MLM cults and the like, is that oftentimes you end up doing it to yourself as much as the person is doing it to you. And how do we stop people from doing that? if they're at home doing it to themselves? How do we as advocates then reach through the computer screen and go, hey, wake up. You're indoctrinating yourself further into this cult. This man should not be your leader. You know what I mean? So it's a very interesting look into cults and how they form and the psychology behind the groupthink within them and how the group adds to the cult forming, if that makes sense. The praise of the leader. How other people kind of come up in these leadership roles as well. And they even start to get a little bit of praise. And you kind of watch the whole thing happen if you were paying attention, especially from the beginning. You saw it go from an MLM that was very much about products to it being a cult where you were lucky if the webinar even mentioned a product. Usually the whole webinar was just about how great Ash's vision is, how they were going to save all of humanity, and then thanking Ash and his family for what they sacrificed for them, and then prayers. So I think that you need to understand that I'm here to speak out against MLMs and cults. MLMs often release products. Many of them are going and actively recruiting, and I speak out about them every single day. It's not about just the fact that your company hasn't launched and that it doesn't have a product. It's the fact that it is an MLM and they are commercial cults. These are pyramid schemes with a loophole of staying legal because families like the DeVos family want to make big money on them being legal. Because Amway said, do you know what would be a really great way for all of us rich people to stay super duper rich? Have people work for us for slave labor, do free marketing for us in a way that we have guaranteed customers every month with our companies? Yeah, it's called MLM. You just tell them to recruit 3 people to recruit 3 people. They'll work for free. Hell, they'll even pay us to be in it. They'll be paying out of pocket to be a part of it. It's going to be amazing. Capitalism, baby. Woo, let's go. And I don't think that that should be allowed. You know, I think that if there are systems that are here that are harming people by taking all of their money, isolating them from their friends and family, people have committed suicide over these companies, you know? And I just think that maybe we shouldn't have them legal. People understand this when I talk about how pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes should be illegal. MLMs are pyramid schemes that are a cult. So why should they be legal? We're also trying to shut down the religious cults right now. There are communities that are dedicated right now to trying to make it so that organizations such as Scientology no longer are able to be tax exempt because they pretty much run MLMs within their organization. Except it's a religious MLM and you don't make commissions. You just got to climb up the pyramid and work for free. And a place like Scientology will rip a 3-year-old away from their parents and ship them off to a work camp. And that parent will be lucky if they get to spend their kid's 18th birthday with them. These MLM companies are often tied to larger crime organizations and syndicates, such as human trafficking rings. You could be supporting Scentsy, buying Scentsy buddies, thinking, oh my God, these things are so cute. And what you don't know is that your money is going to the LDS church. You're now supporting the LDS cult. because you're buying Sensi buddies. You could be buying crypto in an MLM and go, it's cool, man. I'm just buying a little bit for have some side money. But that company is actually using the crypto that you just bought to money launder because they have a bunch of huts out in Taiwan that are filled with 10-year-old little girls that they sell out on the street and beat every night. So when you see somebody speaking out against an MLM company, we're not just sitting here going, we don't like it when stay-at-home moms make a side hustle income. That's not what we're doing here. I don't think you see the larger picture. You have to see the whole picture and what is actually going on here and how harmful allowing these organizations to exist actually are. Do you know where OnPassive's money was being laundered for in Dubai? Can you assure me today that the money that was being laundered in Dubai has nothing to do with any human trafficking, selling of guns to the cartel, making sure that the war continues? Can you assure me of that 100%? You can't. We have no clue what that money was being used for. Right? You're told when you buy a product off someone in an MLM, you're helping that person in their small business. You're not told all the rest. That's why we're here. That's why there are people who did these companies, even some of them that worked their way all the way up to the top, may have built a whole team, may have been in the company for over a decade, but then they see what it's actually about and they go, oh, fuck no. And they leave. And then they come speak out about it. That's half of our advocacy. Half of our advocacy are people that were in MLMs and then saw it for what it really was and went, no, I don't want to have anything to do with this. So that's why we speak out about it. Ash is just one. There's a million Ashes. If anything, it would be nice if more people would speak out about this and realize these connections and realize that they don't know where their money's going. You know? Got to be careful.
There was two parts that really I thought were very important. And one was, if you are a forward-thinking business, you attract and retain the best talents. Now, I think we've already had good talent within our business in OnPassive as we were, but certainly from what our CEO has said moving forward, we've certainly got talent that's there now that has worked for certainly blue chip companies that are out there, all the big ones. And you have to ask the question, why would they not want to work with those massive conglomerates and corporations? Why would they want to come and work for a startup business like ourselves? And I was explaining, and Collins can probably concur with this as well, being an IT guy himself.
Again, I don't really know why. I feel like Collins knows about as much as Red does. I love how they bring Collins on all the time as the expert in IT, because you guys, if you watch the OTech Pros with me, you know this man's no expert in IT or probably anything.
When you are in a position that these IT guys are, where they're that good, they can do anything, they're on obscene amounts of money for what they do, the money aspect of working hasn't got the impact that it has for all of us. You know, when you are on, we'll say 100 grand a year.
Red, your company is in the US and you hired people in India to save money on wages. So this speech makes you look stupid.
and that's just me picking a figure out of the hat. If you're on 100 grand a year, that's not what's going to get you out of bed in the morning, is it? What gets you out of the bed in the morning is being part of a company that allows you to push your own personal boundaries of your talent, whatever your talent is, whether it's coding, whether it's programming, whether it is whatever else these guys do, I have no idea. But if you are one of these guys,
nobody knows. Nobody knows what any of these guys are doing. Apparently they haven't been doing much because all we have is a survey app. If I was living in a developing country with a family living in generations of poverty and money doesn't matter at all to them. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Just back from a festival. That sounds fun. I want to go to a festival. What gets you out of bed is $0, apparently. Smelling bullshit, that's right. This is exactly like selling cars. They gaslight employees into thinking they can create a sustainable living on this job, but 100% commission is no way to live. It's not. It's not.
And you are literally given a free rein to design, to produce something that is completely revolutionary, that is groundbreaking, that is certainly going to change so many things.
It's insane to me that you wouldn't realize that what is here is no different than what like 50 other companies are doing. Nothing is special here in terms of the technology. Hello, Ricardo. Colin's broadcasting directly from his secure accommodation.
This is what gets you out of bed in the morning. Being that programmer who designed that product or service, being the first person to do that, that's what they want to be remembered for. And when they get involved with companies who have got that forward thinking, who are allowing their employees, the IT guys, to really use their talents as it should be in a very disruptive way within the industry.
Again, is Ash just hiring people and then letting them do what they want with very little instruction? Allegedly, that was part of the problem with his last tech team, which they also bragged about was the top of the line and was only coming to work with them because it was so great and blah, 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 right? Same thing Red's saying here pretty much. So, like, Ash should be technically micromanaging this tech team if what he states is what happened wrong last time, you know? Because he claims that the last tech team would lie to him about what they had done. And so he would come and tell us, oh yeah, we can launch in like 2 weeks. And then he would find out that no, they couldn't launch in 2 weeks. The tech team was messing around. So if you had experienced that and you learned from that mistake, I would hope that you wouldn't just hire a new tech team and then not give them direct instruction on what to build and what to do and what your products are, you know? Like, it's, by the way, Red's putting it here, it literally sounds like Ash just went, all right, tech team, go off and build products now. And, like, didn't tell them at all what he wanted. Just build away. Do whatever your heart's desire. Be creative. Show me what you got. And then the tech team was like, here's a survey app. Like, is that what happened? Is that like, is that what we're supposed to believe? Thank you, Kamon Boxer, for becoming a member. I'm having a hard time with this. I don't think Red knows what's going on, though. Hello, Baron. Good to see you. I don't think Red knows what's going on. I think he's just talking out of his ass. So let's not concentrate too much on what this means with Ash. But it's like Red should at least clue in. And no, he doesn't.
Then you certainly know that you've got the right people around you. And especially if the vision aligns and what you're trying to achieve aligns with them and everything else.
Is that a dig at Marty?
That was one of the things that I thought was very, very important and resonated with me. And this is why I truly believe we've got that kind of talent with us now, because through the process of our CEO approaching these guys and saying, listen, this is what I'm trying to achieve, this is what I want to do, they really got, wow, you know, I can get my teeth into this. This is something that I can really run with. And the other thing for me that I liked about what I researched.
Oh no, I'm talking about Marty DeGarmo. He was the top leader in this thing, but he just got booted out.
Of the importance of moving forward in business was about adapting to external factors. Now, economic shifts and technology advancements and regulatory changes, all these sort of things, right? If you don't move forward, okay, then you're not proactive with your company.
Did I miss the webinar? When did Ash say he has a team? I am with you. I guess technically in that call with Gersminder when he said that they built the survey app. That's the only time that, because otherwise, no, in the webinars before that, he was actually doing quite the opposite, wasn't he? Where he was like, I don't have a team. It is just me here now. I am the only one in charge of this. And we were all like, well, who was in charge of it before? So, but again, I don't know where the tech team came from. Because that was like just a few days after he said he didn't have one. I don't think he could have hired one in that time between the last webinar and his voice note with Gersminder. I'm having a very hard time thinking that in that time he hired a tech team. They all got hired, all got situated somewhere, because they also don't have an office right now. So I'm kind of like, were they all just working from home? What's going on, right? And then they got the survey together. Although, let's be real, it wouldn't have taken long, but a tech team could have finished that in a day. That's like a one-day job. I'm sure anyone in IT, if there's anyone in my chat here that has worked in IT, they'll tell you. Doing the surveys, not a big thing, but we don't have any confirmation that there is a tech team. So maybe on the 14th, Ash will show up and all of a sudden there'll be this amazing tech team. Ash showed a meeting where it was a think tank of product ideas, which shows me he didn't have a clue on what he wanted to do about products. See, I remember that. Right. You can hire a team on Fiverr, and I'm sure 100 other websites that you could find. He hired them. I mean, he could have, because it's not like somebody on there couldn't have put this survey app together. Like I'm saying, this is very basic stuff. Same with like the website. When the website went up, it was like, okay, everyone can make a website, especially in that field. So let's not brag, you know? Is it true that Apple have bought the rights to OSTAP for $8 billion US? Oh God, it's Ricardo. Now they're going to be making memes saying this. If Ash hired from Fiverr, they'll be lucky if they get paid. Fiverr.
Now, obviously, external factors, okay, are a huge risk to any business. We found that out firsthand, haven't we? Things that are out of your control certainly derail you for a period of time. But if you are a forward-thinking business,
which you're not, so there's that. But also, what outside sources derailed Ash? Like, I know you want to say that the stuff with Kamal is outside sources and that he didn't know that there was fraud and money laundering and whatever crime was going on over there. But again, like I pointed out at the beginning of this stream, Ash hired Kamal and then gave him all of that power and control over all that money. So, see, to most of us over here, we still hold Ash accountable for that. Like, he's the owner, operator, CEO. He makes the decisions here. So I'm kind of like, that would still be his fault on him. What outside things that were not in his control happened?
Then you know you've got the strength and resilience to keep on going and keep on moving. This really does separate the men from the boys. This is where true success comes from. And if you analyze most successful businessmen out there, the same things keep cropping up time and time again with all of them. It's not because they are brainier than other people. It's not because they've got more money than other people. It's because of their real determination and resilience to keep driving forward for their own goals that give them the niche. And I use the example of sports personalities and teams. The ones that win are the ones that want it more than the other. Quite literally, it's not because they've trained any harder than the others. It's not because they're talented any more than the others. It's because they want it more than the others. And this is why I firmly believe that if you are a forward-thinking person, especially in business, if you focus laser tight on your goals of what you're trying to achieve, then literally nothing can stop you. I'll leave it at that for now, and we'll come back in. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Red. That's a great start. There's a couple of things I
Really?
wanted to.
What was so great about that? Did Red say anything that was okay? Yeah, no, great start, Red. Awesome intro. Best intro to a live stream ever. Like, Lord. Yeah, we have LDS here, and we also have the Jehovah's Witnesses. They actually came to my door about 3 weeks ago, and I was actually recording a video about Ekankar at the time. And they did their knock, knock, knock. Can we spend a moment to talk to you about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, as they do, you know? And I said, well, only if you'll let me go on to you about how it's a cult and how Ekankar is a cult. Because I'm kind of in the midst of recording a video right now because I speak out about cults like yours. And they went, oh, okay. And I said, yeah, and you're not allowed to solicit here, so please get out. I don't want to have to call the cops on you. And then I shut the door and I went back to recording. So it was a great day. Red, shut the fuck. Jelly didn't like your intro, okay? I'm just like, you. What did he say that isn't the same thing that he says all the time? Like, he's like, oh yeah, Ash said that he was gonna move on, look to the future. And we have a great tech team. Can't wait for a survey. Like, that was it.
Go back on very quickly. Customer feedback. I don't, and I've worked for a number of different businesses over the years, but I don't know of one company that hasn't achieved greater levels without asking the customers what it is that they want, what it is that they feel is right and feel is wrong. It amazes me why companies just don't do that with everything that they do. Why don't they ask for feedback? Why don't they look at things in a perspective that says, actually, I need to understand what our customers are thinking, not just pump stuff out into the marketplace. The other thing I wanted to cover, and I covered this Sunday, is that
We do have an update on the SEC case that we will go through at the end of this reaction. So don't go anywhere.
Most people have looked at the negative side when they've looked up the likes of OnPassive or Ash Mufareh. They've not looked at the positive side. They've never done that. They aim at the negative side.
Are you serious? Are you kidding? I have definitely talked about how Ash Mufareh, because positive to you would be how great Ash Mufareh is at GDI when he signed up over 300 people within a week. Yeah, Ash Mufareh recruited 300 people within a week. That's a good thing to him. And we've definitely brought that up. But I'm like, what do you mean? Only bring up the negative things.
That astounds me personally. But
Astounds.
That's the way it is. That's the vast majority of the population. Now, the thing is,
be safe, Joe.
All of the guys, all of the experts that actually work with Ash right now have been brought in after or during.
Oh, you've never seen that before? Oh, it's beautiful. It's the all-seeing eye, except the iris is all OnPassive logo. It is kind of a cool image. You know, if OnPassive wasn't a cult, it would be cool.
The issues that have been forthcoming, certainly with the things like the SEC issue and all the negative press that's gone on. Now, why is the question you need to ask yourself? Why would these people align with our CEO having seen that information?
Who? I sound like a fucking owl, but who? Like, who are you talking about? Who are these people that are so great in the industry that they want to come and align themselves with Ash Mufareh? You know, it doesn't help when you don't give us a name. You know, like, is Elon Musk over there? Like, what's going on?
And there's a simple answer to that. The simple answer is he has a vision that they resonate with 100%.
Okay.
And that vision is something that's going to help everybody. And that is the bit that is so exciting.
His vision. That's what it's about, his vision? Man needs glasses. I don't think it's 2020. I don't think you understand how the tech industry really works. I mean, having a vision is great. But when you have nothing to back it up with, like you don't have the products or the ability to make the products, or the vision is so outlandish that it's impossible. Like when Ash was like, we're going to invent a translator that will translate live streams in real time without any delays, not even 1 second of a delay. And I'm like, that's literally impossible. You know, like things that you cannot do. It doesn't mean anything. Like they'll be like, okay, cool story, bro, but like we're actually building robots over here. You know, like they don't care. They don't care. His vision isn't good enough. His vision is literally everyone joins my MLM and then that somehow saves humanity. Because AI good. Yay, let's go. Whoop, whoop. Fill out the survey. Like that's the vision.
For all of us. And I love that bit. So, Collins, what are your thoughts? I'm going to leave you last. Sorry, Jeanne.
I am from Eastern Ontario. I'm in Ottawa.
Thank you, Andy. I just want to applaud Red as well. You know, Red mentioned a lot of things which I was just like, yeah, it is true, it is true, it is true. You know, because you're talking about moving forward, having like the best engineer, those who aligns with the vision.
I thought you fired all of the best engineers. The last group of technicians was allegedly the best engineers in the whole industry. Top notch, at the very top. And we apparently just fucking fired all of them. So, did we rehire, or is this a new group now? I guess there would be a new group of graduates, are they?
And you made a statement, you said money is not all, because this engineer truly they earn a lot. But sometimes it is not the money that attract them. It is the vision of the company. We are looking at company where they can excel and they can grow as well.
I probably do have an accent because my family actually did grow up in Quebecois.
You know, they're looking about team collaboration. What type of member, the member of the teams, are they nice people? Because remember that.
Are they nice people? Yeah, because when I'm using my Microsoft, I'm like, you know, I really hope that the people that design this software were really nice people. I think about that all the time, you know? Every time that I'm using my computer, I'm like, I wouldn't use this if the people weren't nice people that made it. I have to go do a criminal record check on every single one. Like, what?
You know, being an IT is a very stressful job. But again, if your colleagues make your life easy, you don't even want to be difficult. You don't want to be there.
My heart is the app did. That's what. Giddy's Book Club. And they put it up there. They're like, yeah, that's a good comment. Odit was my favorite too.
No matter how good you are, you don't want to work with
that damn
people
guinea pig
who are not like, you cannot collaborate with them. You know, short and simple. But then you look at the way I structure them. One, the vision, the mission, and what they can achieve as well in this company. Because sometimes when you build something great, you want to celebrate. So,
wait, I thought we were talking about the tech team. The tech team should be different than the OnPassive distributors. That's not the same thing. Oh my God, imagine. I hope you're not doing that. I hope you're not like hiring these people and then telling them that they have to join OnPassive in order to get their paychecks. Because, like, you should be hiring the tech team as you would hire actual employees, right? They wouldn't be hired on as a distributor. They're not independent contractors like the distributors are. So, they shouldn't really fucking care, honestly. Like, to them, they should be making, like, an hourly wage or a salary of some kind. And they just make the products and then go home. You know, like, they're not necessarily going to be involved in the company and all this other stuff. Like, I hope that they're not being made to make the products and then when they go home, they have to, like, post about them on Facebook trying to sell them. Because, geez, that would suck. You know? I'm just... They're separate. So I don't think that they would get the same benefits, which I would argue aren't benefits at all, that the O-founders are apparently going to get.
And people don't know what is happening to the engineers as they sit behind, seeing people celebrating their success. You know, as Red says something about, I listened to Red live. We went live and then things happened. But that joy, it was not only our joy. I was just like, putting myself in those tech guys, those who build like the first application, how they were celebrating when they went.
Are you living vicariously through the real tech guys, Collins? Is that what's going on here? Because that's what it sounds like a little bit.
Life, you know, their mindset to build something new and fresh. The way they were celebrating as we celebrate as well, right? Wow, we are live now. Wow. And the directors and managers say, yeah, we've gone live. You know, that's the only thing the engineers are thinking. Are we live? Yes. Do we have any issues or little issues? Can we resolve it? Yes, as we are live on the fly. That is a big achievement. It's not money, because they also want to put their name, you know, in the history book that we developed something and the customers are happy. You know, they can go and look at it out. Sometimes they walk by, you know, some of this software are also used by them. You go to work in an office, say a bank, and just imagine you go and you meet someone, customer service, sitting there using the software that you have built, you know, to.
So you're thinking that the tech guys are in OnPassive for the fame. Because that's what tech guys want. They join companies for fame.
To answer your own query. You know, sometimes you stare, you look at it, say, wow, it is really wonderful, really beautiful to see something live, and now they are using it for you. You can see the way the customers are happy using this software, not knowing that you were part of the person who built that software and they are
So then how are you getting the fame, Collins?
using. So this is what, when Red made this statement, I was just like putting myself, and then, you know.
So yeah, he's living vicariously through the actual text then. Collins is like, I really want to be an OTech pro. I wish it was me working on these products. But Ash told me I'm only allowed to do webinars talking about how great he is.
So Red made a statement again, you know, when we had the survey platform. You know, I was just looking at the survey, just go and do it, go and do it. But Red talked about product. Then it brought me back. He said, this is our first product. And I said, what?
This? Oh my, how many first products are you allowed to have as a company? Like, seriously, how many are you allowed? I feel like you guys have had too many. Too many first products. All right, because technically your first product was O-Tracker, O-Trim, O-Mail, O-Connect. The OES technically would be the first one, right? Because they called that a product for a while. But now this upcoming survey thing, that's your first product. Aye.
Oh, it's true. And then Red said something, it took them 2 days to build it. Then I made a research.
Really? Because I did French immersion, and I used to have to always go to Quebec because my grandparents still lived there. And I would always like lose my French when I wasn't using it. And then when I would be in Quebec for like, because I'd go up there for like a week and visit, by like day 3 or 4, I would like be French again. That's what happens to me. I completely lose it because I barely use it. But then once I'm around it for like a day or 2, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how to speak in this language now. That's right. In IT for the fame, glory, and chicks. That's right. That's right. O-Staff. What happened to O-Staff? What happened to O-Staff? We haven't heard about O-Staff in a very long time. You would think they would have started with that one. I double majored in French, which was so damn stupid of me. Oh no. Quebec, yeah, Quebec isn't France French, which is funny because then when you do French immersion, you learn France French. And then they bring you to Quebec and they tell you to order at a fucking restaurant, okay? It's a field trip. And you go there and you're about to go up, les frites de patate, s'il vous plaît, right? And they're like, les French fries! And you're like, I don't think this field trip is turning out how you wanted it to, teach. Because if you know, like, Quebec French is very much, there's a lot of English words that just get kind of thrown in. You know, so if you're ordering at a fast food place in Quebec and you want French fries, you say, les fries. But in French immersion in school, they were like, they don't call them that. So it was like, oh, okay. But I just remember like us all doing that, right? They brought us to some, so they brought us over the border basically to Quebec, went on this big field trip to use our French. They were like, you can only use French for the trip. You're not allowed to speak English, right? So it was like, all right, sure, whatever. We did it. And they're like, all right, now everyone order food, right? At lunchtime, it was supposed to be a big activity. Totally disappointed my teacher. She was like pissed. She was like, all right, I guess the food ordering didn't really go as planned. Red is still trying to come up with the theme of his next live event. Money Spitter. Maybe, yeah. Do you know what? He probably will try to have another one now that this is happening. You know? The back office is the first product. Technically, it is the OES first product. It was announced as such at the time. But then we did the whole, oh, no, wait. The O-Tracker, O-Trim, all those ones. They're our first product. Well, we're releasing a few of them at the same time. It's the first product. And then we were like, okay. And then when O-Connect came out, that was the first product. And now, like, how many are you allowed to have? All right, we're at the quota. We've reached it. The back passage and OnPassive's most productive, right? I mean, at least the messages go up back there. It's the only one that works is the O News.
You know, what is the market cap of survey platform? It's more than $1 billion US, I think 4 or 7 billion US dollar market cap. Imagine if Ash wanted to put this product now in the market.
Imagine.
What will happen?
Nothing.
We didn't think about that. I think about the performance.
Telling you, probably the same thing that happened when you tried to put all of your other products in the market, which was nothing.
You know, we're logging from different angles all over the globe just to answer that 3 simple questions. Somebody will say, wow, it is just a simple platform. Yes, but the mechanics is also difficult. If you look at the back end, it's crazy. This is the customer front end. What about the administration, where they can see real-time analysis, breakdown of what we are doing? As we answer the question, the pie chart, the graphs, and everything, there is a real-time breakdown of what we are doing. The tools that you are using, maybe you are using an Android phone or using an Apple phone, you're using a laptop or desktop or whatever, and then your area, your geolocation as well. There's a real-time breakdown. That's what I was just imagining. That now Ash will sit there seeing real-time breakdown as we answer those questions. You know, what is the percentage of this? What is the percentage of that? And they can see clearly, you know, who answer what in real time. That was like mind-blowing to me. Put this product out, you know, company will welcome it. And then the other thing I was thinking, like the performance, we logged in. No, this
Wait, you're talking about Ash again, though. I thought we were talking about the products. Like, keep it on the product.
System didn't crash. And then your answer is also retained. You can go and update your answer, and the system will just update it straight in the back end. Database will just pick it straight and said, okay, this was the old answer, and now the person have just updated. Somebody asked me, oh, I've just clicked on it and it didn't clear out. I said, no. Just imagine you going back to correct your answers. At least the system would show you exactly what you've answered. And if you want to change it, you can just select again, click submit, and that the answers that you've selected will still be there, ready for you to check. But now it is already over. But that was really mind-blowing, which I really wanted to talk about. So I'll give it back to you, Andy.
Right, it's like, it doesn't take much for Collins to be mind-blowing, so when he says, it's mind-blowing, probably not much.
Thanks, Collins. Yeah, I love all of this. Okay,
but that wasn't really tech talk. I mean, he kind of gave us this is what it's like to be a tech working in OnPassive talk, but not really about the tech. I was hoping you were going to explain the survey to us and how it works and all that fun stuff.
The conversations we have and the details that we offer actually kind of look at things in different perspectives, and I love that. Collins is an engineer, a software engineer, and he's a specialist in his field. I'm financial services. Red is a chef, and Jeanne, I don't know actually, but Jeanne is extremely intelligent anyway. Yeah. But the beauty of it is that we look at things from different angles, from different viewpoints. So what is your viewpoint then, Jeanne?
Well, thanks, Andy. If I told you what I really do.
Sorry. And Jeanne. I don't fucking know what she does. She's just kind of here. Oh, shit. But she's smart anyway, he says. Oh, but she's intelligent, though. Oh, my God. That was great. Oh, good job. Good intro for Jeanne. Why is she here? Nobody knows. Does she add anything? No, not really. But we promise she's really intelligent.
I'd have to kill you. No, just kidding. No, I absolutely love this topic because and especially as you guys were talking, I thought, we could talk about, the importance of moving forward, innovation, the survey itself, which and the people that created it, and how exciting it is to be a part of something that is transformative and innovative out in the world. So there's a lot of different ways we could look at this. But for me, like if I go to the importance of moving forward and looking forward and always innovating, like Red had said, is that's the only way that you can really succeed. If you're always looking back at what was before, the old ways, the old thinking, the old technology, all of that, you cannot move forward. And oops, I had a quote. So you got the Albert Einstein quote that says, "You cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it." So unless your company is asking for feedback, getting that, using the latest tech, using the latest thinking, always thinking outside the box, disruptive, you cannot.
It was violent. It was a 3-question survey. They weren't even good questions, damn it. Wasn't even a good survey.
Move forward. You're going to go the way of the dinosaur, just like the companies that Red had mentioned. So for us to know that we're attached to someone who just thinks that way as a way of being, which is Ash Mufareh, that how lucky are we to be involved in this? And then if we can do that as well, and if we know that our feedback is going to, just like in the survey, our feedback is going to play a part in that innovative thinking. Just like Andy had said, if you're not collecting customer feedback, you're not keeping your finger on the pulse of things. So it's like,
ma'am, do you not remember all of the webinars where people wanted to ask questions and Ash would seriously get pissed off that they were asking when the launch date was? Okay, this man has not wanted feedback from you. He hasn't even wanted to know what your thoughts are about this. He hasn't wanted to answer your questions. He doesn't give a crap about what you think about anything here. For 7 years. 7 years. You would plan who would allegedly ask a question during the webinars because you were so scared that somebody was going to say something that he didn't like. Because if it's negative in any single way, which to you just means asking, where the money is that they were owed, or when this thing's going to launch, or what's the product that's coming out next, or whatever, that was all considered negative, and it wasn't allowed. Then the man releases one shit survey with 3 questions, and the questions are, will you stay in the company? Will you be loyal to me as your leader? And will you stick it out no matter how long it takes, even if it takes me 100 years to launch this thing? That was it. And you guys are like, oh my God, he is so amazing for how he set up that survey and wanted to hear from us. Now, if Ash would leave a comment section and let people actually fill out in their own words what they want to say to him, then maybe I could understand this reaction. But this survey was just, can you kiss my ass? Can you kiss my ass? Will you kiss it forever? That's all it was. Lord. Remember when Julie asked about money? Exactly. Iconic. Right. We're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that privately, he used to say to people all the time if they asked something that was, too good of a question. Right? He hasn't given a fuck about any of you or your opinions. And now he does this little survey. They're like, he's so amazing for wanting our feedback. Yeah, it was feedback about how much you loved him. What do you mean? Comfort has just completed her first year of homeschooling her children. They're all attending summer school. Awesome. I bet you they're real thrilled about that. Those are real important questions for Ash, that is, right? Will you wait 8 years for me to get the next survey out? With Heart 2.0, of course. Right? It's ridiculous.
We're all a part of this amazing machine that is going to transform the world. We're the customer feedback. We're also providing innovative thinking in meetings. If our feedback is requested, we know that we're attached to a CEO who's right from birth probably was thinking on a genius level. And
Ash Mufareh from birth, thinking at a genius level. Ash Mufareh. The same Ash Mufareh that's the CEO of your cult. That guy? You think that guy has had a genius IQ since he was born? Oh, Lord G. No wonder why you don't have anything going on.
Always thinking of different things. So if we think about, Red had said, we wouldn't have wanted the old business to move forward because it was created in a time, that was years ago, it was created in a time where that.
Okay, but whose fault is that? That is years ago. Again, it's yeah, but it's because you took that long. That's your fault, Ash. See what I mean? He just wants to pretend like nothing happened. OnPassive, the last 7 years did not happen at all. Woo! Starting anew. Just pretend like all of the hurt and pain that you went through. I know that there's people out there in India and South Africa that took out debts, opened credit cards for this, probably owe money to cartel for this in areas. Who knows? But it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just forget about it. Forget about all of the last 7 years now. None of that matters. It's just poof, erase, gone. And we will just start anew. Start fresh now. Get ready to take out another loan, though. Hopefully you can. Otherwise, you're not going to save humanity with us. October 2020, 50 products ready to go. Yeah, don't forget it. But it took 8 years to potty train Ash and get him off diapers, probably. Remember the webinar moment when Ash finally realized they had no Tech Bro database backup? I do. It was a secret meeting that we exposed. It was very fun. OnPassive is bigger than 50 products, Joe. You're not thinking big enough. You don't understand Ash Mufareh's vision.
That technology existed. That level of thinking existed. We were even thinking in a different way than we think now after
They keep putting up Guinea's comment.
all of the things that we've learned. So the fact that we are in something completely new going forward it's not just exciting and great and fun and all of those things. It's absolutely necessary, critical for us to succeed going forward. And I loved especially what Red had said about.
Again, what did Red say?
The ones that win are the ones that want it the most. So we can ask ourselves here now, how bad do you want it? That survey asked, how long are you willing to wait?
Which made me go, oh shit, we're going to be here for a long time, aren't we? Nobody else? I was the only one, apparently. The rest of them are like, it's amazing how he asked us for our loyalty forever. Hey, you know what you should do, Ash? You should get them to sign a billion-year contract. I hear no one's ever done that before.
How committed are you? You know, this way of gauging, are you attracting winners into your company, people that never give up, just absolutely are in this, they want it badly. And why do we want it badly or goodly, depending on the way you want to look at it?
It wasn't that funny, Jeanne.
We want it so much because we love our families, we love our communities and want to help them. We have personal passions like, say, veterans or charities or...
Yeah, but when you say that, that means I'm going to prey on veterans with OnPassive. I'm going to prey on charities with OnPassive. I'm going to prey on the people of my community. I'm going to prey on, you see, it's not about helping. I know you think it's about helping, but it's actually not about helping. I don't know why you would want to make your community come and sit here and wait with you for 7 years. From what I've heard, it's not all that much fun because they start asking you when things are going to happen. And then you guys get mad that you have to give them answers. So maybe you should just wait.
Or any number of things. We really, really want that and have probably wanted it our whole lives. So we are those people, the football team that wants it much better than anybody else. We're attracted here to this company because...
Yeah, you're right. Because football games are like the movies. And as long as the football team just really, really wants to win the Super Bowl, then they win the Super Bowl. It has nothing to do with the game that they're playing. It has nothing to do with their skill or luck or anything like that, you know. They just have to want it bad enough. And if they're like, I want the cup, I want the cup, I want that Super Bowl, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it, then they're the team that wins. That's how it goes. Everybody knows that's how sports work. Jeanne watched The Longest Yard and a bunch of football movies, you know, I don't know, name some. And then she was like, yeah, that's how it works. Like the law of attraction, you just have to want it bad enough and then they win.
We are that type of person.
She's never watched a real football game in her entire life, though, I bet.
Really, really want this very, very much. And we want it more than anyone else, which is why we're still here. We're still standing. We're in these meetings talking about this amazing.
So this is what starts to happen is now they think that them being there for a very long time, as you can see, puts them in a position of being special. It's like, oh, we're the special chosen ones. We're the ones that waited. We're the ones that stuck it out for the 7 years. You know, it's kind of sad.
Company. So that's what I wanted to offer. I mean, literally, we could talk forever about the benefits of looking forward, always innovating, always looking to the next thing, and just to know.
Maybe you should concentrate on this thing instead of just always dreaming about the future. Concentrate on right now. What are you doing right now? A webinar where you're just talking a bunch of bullshit. Nobody's going to know what's going on for another few days. So why are we even doing this? Who knows?
That Ash is just, he probably, when we're in meetings with him, you know, these public webinars, he's probably biting his lip, biting his tongue at the things he wants to share, but
I doubt it.
Cannot yet. I think he is just stratospherically ahead of us, 20 years ahead of us. If
he's 20 years ahead of us, we're in a lot of fucking trouble. All right. Maybe we do just need to nuke this whole place and start over. This Lord.
Not more. I think he's just giggling inside.
I think you are delusional. Delulu, la boo boo delulu.
The excitement of the innovation, the super spacey techie stuff that he must think about on a regular basis. But
Joe says he wants to say how stupid everyone is. It is true. He does think he's the smartest guy in every room.
for maybe legal reasons, patent reasons, who knows, he cannot share everything that's in his heart. So I feel very privileged that he shares as much as he does.
He doesn't know
So
what's
that's what I wanted to offer on this topic. And thanks for having me again.
Thanks, Jeanne. Yeah, it's a very interesting point. What we have come to understand is that there are several thousand of us that have the same thought or mindset. We all want to see this go to the next level. We all believe in what Ash is doing and the way he's doing it. I am a great believer in karma. I cannot tell you, everything happens for a reason, whether we like that reason or not. You know, I lose my job and you go, oh my God, everything. But actually, there's a reason behind why I lost my job. Someone somewhere is saying, actually, this moves you to the next point, the next position, which is far better than the previous one.
Oh, well, maybe you should wait
for me,
until the end of this live stream and the SEC update before you go talking about that.
That is very, very important. And to understand that is very important. So this is why, again, for me, for us to be here, we're all of a similar mindset. We all believe and truly feel that what is coming is going to be far better than it was before, first of all.
Like Jelly says, your belief and want doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter how much you want it. It doesn't matter how much you believe. You know, what matters is what Ash does to get this thing going. And if he's not doing his part in any of this, then do you see how this is just a cult of personality? You're all just sitting around here praising him for nothing, for a vision. And I'm at the point where I'm like, listen, if this man is having visions, maybe he should check himself in.
Foremost, but also that he's one of our mindset. He's part of our group. We all feel the same way. The difference is that's his expertise. Like Collins is the software engineer. His is marketing. His is pulling people together to work together to be able to create something special. And again, probably not the right place to say so, but again, I'm going to say anyway, sod it. So the system is built against us in the vast majority of situations with business. So when you have a business that is going to go stellar, there's companies in the background going, no, I don't like that. Don't like that. And blockades are put in your way. And the fact that this man has gone through all of that and continues no matter what, when 99.9% of people would have gone, do you know what? I'm done. I can't cope with this. No, I'm out. That, again, is something that is really, really exciting. So, Red, any further thoughts? Or thinking, oh, he is there.
No,
he's too busy in the chat.
I was just looking at stuff. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, we are all exactly the same place here, and I firmly believe that one of the reasons we are changing, new vehicle, new direction as far as where we're going for our goal. The goal is still the same. We're just taking a different route. Our route is things, and one of those is because you can't keep doing the same thing and then expecting a different result if you're doing the same thing. It's just one of those things, isn't it? If you've got the same team, you've got the same everything, how can you expect something different for the outcome? I think, wasn't it? It was... Are
you serious?
It was Albert Einstein saying insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You know, we need to use this opportunity as a business, and Ash Mufareh certainly does understand.
I already
this,
have them, Chris.
if we're going to have a different outcome to the business, a better outcome, certainly than what we had. And what we had before, in my opinion, was...
Lord, can none of you have any chill? Can you not just wait till we go over the documents before you out the documents in the chat? You know, somebody worked very hard to get these documents to me.
Pretty damn good, you know, but if we want to have a better outcome, then we have to do different things. And part of that different things is the culmination of absolutely everything that we're seeing. A different vehicle to get there, a different outlook on what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, different tech team that are producing different things.
The tech teams? Now there's more than one.
We're certainly going to be using much more innovative technology that we used before. As Jeanne was saying, what was there 2 years ago now is outdated. I mean, look at mobile.
Jesus. What was there 2 years ago is now outdated. Okay, but you've been promising the same things technically since 2018. It's so funny to me, literally, right now, that it's okay, Chris, I was half joking. But it's so funny to me that they're literally right now acting like this over it. Like, I just can't. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on. This is the most ridiculous thing. I haven't watched these guys together in a very long time. It's been slightly enjoyable because this is just silly.
Mobile phones, look at kids with different PlayStations. 2 years ago, they were...
They can't get over it. Like, the number of times that me and Alonda have sat here and been like, your shit is so outdated, it's from like 5 years ago. I can't even believe that in this they're saying, like, that was from like 2 years ago. Like, I can't get over it. I'm like, stop this right now. Stop doing this. The technology is all outdated now, you know, the O Connect and the O Trim, you know, that was from like 2 years ago. Again, technically since like 2018, but you know, it's just, it's like, that is so 2023. We don't do 2023 anymore. We do 2025 now. Like, they're really trying to sell it right now. This whole webinar that, like, part of the reason why we're moving on to this new company is because this stuff is now outdated at 2 years. Well, that was old stuff, though. Oh.
Queuing down the road to get that latest model 2 years ago, and that's in the bin now. They're on.
Even then, it wasn't the latest model.
Onto something else. Technology moves that fast.
It's actually 6 months. I believe they say a tech generation. I think they said it's 6 months. It used to be 4 years. Remember that? Back when computers were first being put in people's homes. The tech generation was about 4 years. Now I think it's the longest. It's like 6 months.
So if we don't change for us moving forward, and how can we expect a different outcome from the new business? This is where you go all the way back to what we've been talking about the survey, about moving forward, about doing...
We go all the way. We got to move forward and do better. So this is where the survey comes in. Doing
things different. One of the things, and I keep going back to this, and I
didn't ask any questions that would even tell Ash how to do anything differently at all. This is the dumbest survey ever.
I really do believe it is going to separate our business from so many others. If you remember, one of the webinars that we had with our CEO, he was talking about how businesses used to operate, and that was very much face-to-face, building relationships with their customer base, so that trust element between customer and business people was there. I actually think that is coming into the fore a lot more now. I think that this is certainly going to be something that's going to be prevalent in the next phase, is to have bridging that gap between you're not just a customer, you're more than a customer, you're part of our movement, you're part of our business because you are using our products and services. So it adds to that extra that customers haven't experienced before with online business. This, I think, is going to be something that we're going to utilize, and we're going to do that by having these surveys, inviting people to give their feedback, and then you build up a much better picture of what your client base is looking for, what your client base is expecting, and what their thoughts are of how you are going to move forward with your business. I've given the analogy before. As you know, I am a chef, and I cook. And I had this discussion with my dad this once, and he said, sometimes you might have the best idea for a business in a certain place, a restaurant or whatever it may be. But if you don't give your customer base, so where that restaurant is, what they want, it's immaterial to what you want to do.
And all of you wanted surveys? It's weird. I haven't heard anything about surveys at all the entire time that I've been covering this. But okay.
So you have to adjust and adapt to what your business customer base is looking for.
And everybody in business was like, what we're really missing is a way to make a survey. That's what the customers want. Okay.
There's no point in me putting lobster thermidor on the menu if they want fish and chips. It's not going to say, right?
Yeah, well, Ash, being a chef, is like, you go up to the window, Red, and you order fish and chips. And then all of a sudden, they take your money, and then the truck straight up just fucking drives away. You gotta try to chase it down the road. Hey, come back here. Where's my fish and chips? It's actually more like that.
So you have to give that customer base exactly what they want. And if you do that, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have sales. And how do you find out what your customer wants? Surveys. So I certainly believe that feedback, that bridge between the customer and the business side of things is certainly going to come into its fore in the next phase. Don't know how. This is just me talking out loud. It's what I'm thinking. But it would make sense. That brings a different edge to our business. It brings a different dynamic that is completely different from everyone else. We've just talked about this. Customer businesses now.
It's not even all that different from what you guys were doing before, really. So an AI company for businesses, MLM.
Only interested in one thing: make a sale. Once they've made that sale, they don't give a rat's about a customer after that, right? And they're not looking to utilize that customer as a repeat person. There is a few companies that do it now. I mean, especially here in the UK.
Did he just say that companies don't want repeat customers?
You know, especially here in the UK, there's some companies that, in fact, are almost too hot on it because you have to snooze the old bloody spam emails a little bit. But I think having that right balance of appreciation of your business and being too heavy on them, but I certainly believe it is the way forward that's going to set us aside from other like businesses. That's it from me. Back to you.
Thanks, Red. Great. It is really interesting, and I believe surveys make a hell of a difference. So, Collins, I'm sure you've got a couple of points that you would love to add.
Yeah, No, Red took it from my mouth. I wanted to pose this question to Red as well.
But you had a chance to speak. So if you wanted to say that, why didn't you say that anyway?
I said, if, I was just like thinking in my head, and I would, and I just know Red is a chef. I said, all right, if you want to prepare a food, a good meal, you cannot prepare a very bad meal and offer it to your visitor, your guest. What you cannot have, you cannot take in, you can't offer it to anyone. You must be ready to be happy with what you have cooked. You must be ready to enjoy your own meal, celebrate your own meal. Then you know that others will celebrate your meal as well. My mom always said that. Don't give food that you can't eat to your guests.
Oh,
so now
that's
Red
good.
touched a lot of points, you're looking at, he's talking from the chef part of it, and it brought me back to software development. You look at what you must know what the customer wants. That's the first part. When you're building a software, you can't build it out of your own initiative. Like all developers will just go crazy. Engineers will just build whatever they want. But when it hit the market, nobody wants it because it's not what they really want. So you must know first what the customer wants. And that's exactly what Ms. Ash Mufareh did.
Oh my God, I swear to God, Collins almost maybe had an aneurysm just now. He just talked in a complete circle. He just went all the way around, I swear. You can't give the customer what they want if you don't know what they want. And in order to ask them, or in order to know what they want, you need to ask them what they want. Or to ask them what they want, you need to give them the survey. Jesus Christ. I feel like Ash has never cared about what other people wanted or needed, though. For him, it's always been about his vision and how he thinks it should go. How he believes the world should be saved. Now they want to know what the customer wants, right? It's like, maybe get some customers first. Although it does look like they are accepting the fact that they are the main customers here, right? I mean, in MLMs, it's true. Distributors exist in MLMs to give the company a guaranteed monthly customer. Because they know that either that person's going to get people to buy off of them, so they'll be guaranteed some customers that way, or that person will buy everything that they need to hit their rank that month. So either way, they're guaranteed sales.
Look at the market. What is really needed in the market now? You need to go in for it. Some people say, all right, you build video conferencing. There's already video conferencing. Why are you building it? Somebody asked me this question. I said, all right, there was Cisco WebEx came out first. It was there. Why did Zoom build video conferencing again? Why did Google Hangout? Google decided to build Google Hangout. Why did Microsoft build Microsoft Team? Just to tell you that it is never enough. It is never enough. They come with different technology. Nokia built phone. Why did Apple Steve Jobs decide to come up with a phone? And when you put this question, somebody asks a question, I always use question as well to answer their question. Because they think about this.
Are you serious? You think that every time that Apple comes out with a phone, it sends out a survey to all of its customers before deciding what? Never mind. Sure, that's what happens, Colin. Fabulous job putting it all together.
Technology is evolving, it's growing. Digital transformation is taking place every day because the consumers, which is the users, they are never tired of wanting something fresh and new.
Yeah.
You give me something new, I will take it. As long as the price is affordable, I will go in for it. I will not think about you. There is nothing like loyalty. Just give me something fresh and new, I'm in. And I will be loyal to you because you give me what I want. And that's exactly what Ash is doing. It's coming with something fresh and new. But that thing fresh and new takes a lot of time.
Yeah, surveys, fresh and new.
It takes a lot of hard work because it starts from customer perspective. They analyze it, they design it, they write the code, they test it. Doesn't work, they go back again on the drawing board, do the same thing. It just have a life cycle until the final product will come out. Sometimes when Ash is quiet, people say, where is Ash? It's because they are doing a lot in the background. They don't know what, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of concentration to build it, because it's just like you are in a roller coaster, building, rejected. No, it's not really good enough. Go back. build it, reject it. No, it's not good enough. Go back. So it takes like.
I swear to God, this man does not work in tech. And the more he talks about tech, the more I swear he's not a software engineer.
5 cycles, and each stage of software can take 1, 2, 3, 4 months, depending on the complexity of the software. Piece of functionality. And Red understand what I'm saying, because Red have coded a little bit before, though he's a chef. It takes a lot, that cycle. So just to sit and analyze things can take 6 months, and then come up with the final, what they want to do, and then design it. And that.
So with all these steps, nobody else is thinking, wow, we didn't have a tech team, then all of a sudden we had a tech team, and then all this got done so quickly?
Design can take a couple of months again before the coders will start to write exact code of what has been designed. And
no. I really don't think that he knows anything about code.
Then the QA will come in to test, to make sure what they have said from the beginning, from the analysis stage, is what they have coded. And if it's not, there is a difference between that, they have to go back again and say, no, what you've built is not exactly what the final, the original stage was. So what have you done? What have changed? And those questions is always there, repetitively, until everything, all of the team agree that this is what we want. The top body say, yes, we want. That is when they can give it to the customer. It takes effort and effort and effort. There are projects I'm working on now, which I would say it will come out 2030. But they've already started working last year. But a lot of people don't know. They've already there. But when it will come out, it's 2030. How many people know? So if you are a founder in this company I'm working for, you will say, my God, I can't wait. But this is what we know, that you cannot rush it because it's complex.
Lord.
Exactly what Red said, that is what is happening behind the scene. A lot of people don't know.
I don't think that's what's happening behind the scenes, Collins. I really don't. But that's an interesting interpretation of what you believe is happening behind the scenes.
We are just at the tail end because we use the product every day. We think, wow,
it's
just
the tail
overnight
end.
It came out.
Trust me, Collins. You're at the tail end.
No, some of the projects will take as long as possible because we don't see it, we don't know. We always wait, and then when something hit the market or 2 months, then they make that big advert. So wow, something fresh and new is out, but you don't know when they started building this thing. It takes a lot of effort, and and I'm just happy the way Ash is going about his business, taking one day at a time. The engineers are there building, and when we will see the final stage very soon, we'll not
very soon.
On the rest will be history.
Sooner than you think.
And the way we'll be celebrating, that's how the engineers too will be celebrating behind the scene. So I will leave it there, Andy.
Thanks, Collins. This is what I mean by a different perspective, and all of our minds work in different ways, and Collins is just spot on. Jeanne, any final comments you'd love to add?
Oh, I just realized I wasn't on mute, so I hope I wasn't making all sorts of sounds while Collins was talking. Oh my gosh, no, it was awesome. All I have to say is everybody should just get their ideas, get their juices flowing, because we're in a company that wants your ideas. Once, like we have all of our people, watch it, Red, we have all of our people around the world that have like experiences. They know what their communities need. Like I remember going back, there were people, we would come up with like ideas for homelessness in this community, or getting water, digging wells, and all those kinds of things. So we all have our ideas, our inventions, our thoughts and stuff. So I would just say for everyone to start thinking like that again, because now that we've got this new survey tool, the company's going to start asking for more feedback in whatever way, we don't know.
Are they?
But we are, as a collective, the ones that are going to transform the world. So if you are somebody
they are like the star seeds. They're here to transform the world. Ash was sent from God to create them to transform the world with his AI.
always been a thinker, but never had the wherewithal to bring it to fruition. You know, I always had all sorts of inventions as a child growing up, never knew anything about patents, didn't have the money to do it or pursue it, didn't, you know, so there are people like that all over the world. And certainly in this group that if we can start getting those ideas.
So do you think that Ash is going to like do all of your ideas? Is that what you think? This is like an invention company? Ash is just going to fund all of your ideas and inventions for you? That's what this is, and that's how you're going to save humanity?
Re-energized, so that going forward with this new team and this new vehicle, we're going to have a forum, as it were, a space in which to share those ideas. And then as a collective, we'll be able to bring them to the world and solve problems en masse around the planet. And not just one person, a CEO with ideas, but all of us as one family. So that's what I wanted to say. Just everybody get your ideas ready.
Fabulous. Thanks, Jeanne. Any final comments, Red, you'd like to add?
No, that's it. I think it's been fantastic. I like just relaxing and talking about stuff, which we are. You know, we all have. We've all got the same goal. We've all got different perspectives. And this is what I love about coming on OP Digital Blueprint here, is because we chuck it out there and we have a good chat about it. And it always comes back to around to the same sort of thing, doesn't it, really? That we feel very honoured, very lucky, very blessed that we are part of this community, that we are part of the Ash Mufareh family, moving forward to something that really is going to blow people away. And that's what I'm looking forward to, as we've all said, to those days when we can put all this behind us, that we can tell our stories time and time again to everybody of our journeys, know in the knowledge that we are successful, that our gut feeling was right to believe in this man, and we have succeeded where so many other people have failed. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Red. It's not just that, and that is a great point. I love that. The second point I wanted to add, we've been very lucky because we've been able to meet. So Red and Collins and I, we've been able to meet because we've done a couple of meetings that we've had, one at Worcester, as we said, and one we did in Manchester, which was fabulous. And meeting is totally different to seeing us on here, because I know Red and Collins are both big boys. They're both quite tall. So it would be wonderful to be able to meet the others that we have that, like I said, all have the same mindset. And that's one of the things I really look forward to. Anyway, Collins, would you like a final word before we close?
Yeah, I just agree with Red. You know, it's just a blessing to be part of this company directly, because really,
well, how would you be a part of it indirectly?
It's hard for an IT company to open the door and say, come in, just come and be part of it. I've never seen that. Most people been part, but they come indirectly. They build, put it out there. Some company will come use the product and then do whatever they want to do, but you're not directly involved with the company. So this is really a great feeling when you're sitting there knowing fully well that you are part of sitting on the same table with Mr. Ash Mufareh. Doesn't matter if you come to the panel or not. As long as you are in, you are already close to him, to his heart, and it's a privilege. And we're all blessed. But time will tell, and we'll see it when it happens, and not very, very soon when it happens. All of us will be.
We all look forward to it. We all look forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you to everyone that has come in today and listened to us. Hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing next Tuesday. So in the meantime, have a fabulous week, and we will look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye. That was a lot from my head. We're not done here, though. We are not done here. There has been an update in the SEC litigation that I think we need to go through. Oh no. Ah! Is it this one? Aha, I did it right. Okay, so let me just hold on here. There we go. That's better. Everybody can see this. So as you can see, there is the SEC versus Ash Mufareh. And what this is Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission's unopposed motion for entry of final judgment. In other words, they have reached a final decision in this case. And this is it. So the first thing that they go through is that they have done a dismissal of the claim for unjust enrichment against relief defendant Jeanne Mufareh, Ash's wife. And that is because basically they asked for Ash to pay back the ill-gotten gains. As you can see right here, the judgment requires OnPassive to disgorge all its allegedly ill-gotten gains, which includes the funds allegedly received by the relief defendants. So they were kind of like, we'll dismiss the extra one. So that happened. Then they said, please go to Exhibit 1, 2, and 3 to find out the final judgment. So Exhibit 1 states, consent of defendant Ash Mufareh. Defendant Ash Mufareh acknowledges having been served with the amended complaint in this action, enters a general appearance, and admits the court's jurisdiction over defendant and over the subject matter of this action. Without admitting or denying the allegations of the amended complaint, except as provided herein in paragraph 13 and except as to personal and subject matter jurisdiction, which defendant admits, defendant hereby consents to the entry of a final judgment in the form attached hereto and incorporated by reference herein, which among other things, are you ready? Permanently restrains and enjoins defendant from violation of Section 10B of the SEC Act of 1934, Rule 10B-5, and Sections 5A, 5C, and 17A of the Securities Act 1933, and etc. It permanently restrains and enjoins defendant from directly or indirectly offering, operating, or participating in any marketing or sales program in which a participant is compensated or promised compensation solely or primarily for inducing another person to become a participant in the program, or if such induced person induces another to become a participant in the program. For a period of 8 years from the entry of this, meaning from today, it restrains and enjoins defendant Ash Mufareh from acting as an officer or director of any issuer that has a class of securities registered. In other words, for 8 years, starting today, Ash Mufareh is not allowed to own or operate any kind of business. He better have made a shitload from crypto. He better have. It also orders the defendant to pay a civil penalty in the amount of $4 million under Securities Act Section 20D and Exchange Act Section 21D3. The defendant hereby undertakes and agrees to the following. Defendant shall make good faith efforts to collect or assist the Securities and Exchange Commission to collect and repatriate funds belonging to defendant OnPassive LLC located overseas, including funds held by affiliates of OnPassive. And defendant agrees that any such funds shall be applied against any remaining balance of the final judgment, and that he shall have no right or claim to such funds until the final judgment has been paid in full. Defendant acknowledges that the civil penalty paid pursuant to the final judgment may be distributed pursuant to the fair fund provisions of Section 308A. It goes on and says, regardless of whether any such fair fund distribution is made, the civil penalty shall be treated as penalty paid to the government for all purposes, including all tax purposes. Okay, it goes into a little bit of detail about how that will, be paid. And it says, the defendant agrees that he shall not seek or accept, directly or indirectly, reimbursement or indemnification from any source, including but not limited to payment made pursuant to any insurance policy with regard to any civil penalty amounts the defendant pays pursuant to the final judgment, regardless of whether such penalty amounts or any part thereof are added to a distribution fund or otherwise used for the benefit of investors. He also agrees that he shall not claim, assert, or apply for tax deduction or tax credit with regards to any of these funds. Defendant waives the entry of findings of fact and conclusions of law pursuant to Rule 52 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, which might be why this happened. He can do this and not admit to any wrongs, and there doesn't have to be a full discovery, and he doesn't have to let everybody know everything that actually happened with this company now. So there's that. He can't own or operate a business that offers investment opportunities or that pays commissions to someone that is recruited and that recruits other people. So that also means any MLM company, and he also can't join an MLM company as a distributor either. Hashtag I hate Mufareh. Mrs. Ash will be owning the next business and will be based in the Bahamas. I think they can still get in trouble for that, though. It's too bad she was dropped so that she can't be barred from owning a business and being used by Ash. Could be open business under his kids' names. He has 2 sons, and yeah, I think he could. I mean, it might be hard to. I don't know if in Florida, if you can open up a business if you're under the age of 18, really, or what that would entail, ChatGPT needs to translate for you. That basically means the government is treating it like a fine when they don't allow you to deduct it from your taxes. It is a fine. He's being fined $4 million by the SEC, and he's not allowed to join a business or run a business for 8 years. That is basically what it says. He also is not going to enter the facts or the conclusions. Basically, like I said, he's not going to tell us what actually happened. He gets to keep that private now, which, like I said, is most likely why he did this. He also is saying, nope, don't need a jury trial. I'm good with this. And the rest of this document, I believe, is basically talking about that he consents to this. It's not going to be opposed. He's not going to try to appeal it if the judge puts it through, blah, 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 that kind of thing. The next document seems to be pretty similar to that document. It basically says that he's been served with the amended complaint in this action. without admitting or denying the allegations of the amended complaint. He consents to the entry of the final judgment, and this is it here. So he cannot break the laws of running a pyramid scheme and not registering securities or commit fraud. He is not allowed to directly or indirectly offer, operate, or participate in any marketing or sales program in which a participant is compensated or promised compensation solely or primarily for inducing another person to become a participant in the program, or like for joining and then signing up people. So basically, he's not allowed in any sales program. That includes any marketing, any direct selling, and then any MLM. He is not allowed to be a part of any of those. Basically, no business. It also orders the defendant to pay disgorgement in the amount of $26,220,364 plus prejudgment interest in the amount of $1,218,528.40. And then he is also to pay a penalty in the amount of $4 million. And again, the penalty cannot be like taxed. It is a fine. He has to make the good faith efforts to collect and assist the SEC in collecting funds that are overseas and basically pay it back. And that's what this says. He does not have any access to the funds, not allowed to touch them. He is not allowed to touch them even if he does retrieve some. It has to go to them before he can do anything with it. And it says that action based on defendant's payment of disgorgement in this action argue that it is entitled to, nor shall it further benefit by offset or reduction of such compensatory damages, award of the amount of any party defendant's payment of a civil penalty in this action. So basically that is supposed to go back to the victims. He's not going to ask for any kind of help from any government programs or anywhere else in order to pay this, any kind of insurance company, like if he has business insurance. And again, he can't get taxes deducted for this. Then it goes into how he waived the right. And he agrees that he consented to all of this. He wasn't threatened or anything like that. And the final judgment has been entered into the courts, and they will not do double jeopardy on him, where they will not, go after him for these things again. However, they do state after that, right? Yeah, $4 million he has to pay just to the SEC as a fine. And then he has to pay another $4 million almost, it seems, as the disgorgement funds. So back to the people he stole money. It's not a lot, but it's something. We probably weren't going to get the full $108 million back, let's be real. It also goes on to say, though, that if he breaches the agreement, all right, then they can basically vacate this judgment and say, no, Ash breached it. So now this is not in effect anymore. And we can now take him to court for everything that he's done. Is it a great thing that has happened here? By the way, this is his signature. You ever wondered what it looks like? So, is it a great outcome? Not really. The good news is that he is not allowed to own or operate a business or even be a part of any type of business that would be online for 8 years. The bad news is that he's not going to be made to pay back all of the money that he stole. But according to these documents, it does say that he is supposed to recover the full amount of the ill-gotten gains. So I'm a little bit confused as to if this includes the 108 million or if this is just it that he's supposed to retrieve back. So okay, 26 million plus 1 million, and then he's fined 4 million. So we have $27 million that he's supposed to pay back, and 4 million he's fined. But I can't really tell because it says that he kind of agreed that, yeah, he took that money, right? And that he should be getting the ill-gotten gains back. But since I'm not a lawyer, I don't know if that's included or not. I can try and find out, obviously, for all of you and get back to you and let you know. But that is that one. And the last one is, again, very much the same. So this is basically the proposed final judgment that writes up anything. Writes up the whole thing and then has the judge sign it at the end. As you can see, still sort of waiting. So we can just kind of see if this says anything about that. Say he's not allowed to defraud. These are the things he has to follow. Defendants, officer, agents, servants, employees, or attorneys, and other persons in active concert or participate with defendants or anyone described. And that's just the same one. I don't see it mentioning the full amount of the 108 mil. Here it goes. Let's read this part. This part should explain it the most to us, I believe. It is hereby further ordered, adjudged, and decreed that defendant OnPassive is liable for disgorgement of $26,220,364, representing net profits gained as a result of the conduct alleged in the amended complaint, together with prejudgment interest therein in the amount of $1,218,528.40. In addition, pursuant to Securities Act Section 20D and Exchange Act Section 21D3, defendants OnPassive and Mufareh shall each pay a civil penalty in the amount of $4 million. So they each have to pay. So defendant Mufareh shall satisfy his obligation by paying $4 million to the Securities and Exchange Commission within 10 days after entry of this final judgment, and then defendant OnPassive shall satisfy its obligation by paying $31,438,892.40 to the Securities and Exchange Commission within 90 days after this final judgment. So after today, he has 90 days. 3 months for that one. They can pay it electronically, online, or via check, and they give the information. It says that they need to transmit photocopies of evidence of payment in case identifying intermission to the commission's counsel in this action. Says the commission may enforce the court's judgment for disgorgement, prejudice, prejudgment, interest, and penalties by using all collection procedures authorized by law, including but not limited to moving for civil contempt any time after the 90 days if they have not paid it. After Ash as well, if he doesn't pay in 10 days. Okay, and then it talks about the paying the post-judgment interest. And then the commission may propose a plan to distribute the fund subject to the court's approval. So again, according to this act, it basically would go to people that bought into OnPassive. They would let you know how to get a hold of them for that. And then it just goes into, yeah, I don't see anything. So I'm pretty sure that's what he has to pay. And that's that. And now we're just waiting for the judge to sign it, which basically would just make it, that's it. You know? So that is it for the SEC versus Ash Mufareh litigation. So he is guilty of what happened, but it is a win for him in the sense that he doesn't have to pay back all of the money. And he also doesn't have to tell us what actually happened here, which is unfortunate. Now, I'm wondering, because I couldn't really see much on there, and it looks like his wife was removed. So I'm wondering, like you, if he'll still be allowed to sort of run a company under his wife's name. But I am wondering why this would go through today, and then he would set up a webinar in 2 days from now, for Thursday. Because he's supposed to do a webinar on Thursday, right? Where he's supposed to be telling everyone about this new company and new products. But he just found out he's not allowed to run a company for 8 years. The thing is, even if he puts his company in somebody else's name, he's not allowed to be there doing a webinar. If he shows up on Thursday and addresses these people with anything else besides, I'm sorry guys, I have to shut this all down. I had to settle with the SEC. I have to pay back a bunch of money. And so I wanted to come on here and apologize to all of you and let you know that the SEC is going to be getting in contact with you, or I'll let you know how you can get in contact with them to retrieve anything that's owed to you. Unless that's what he's doing, it will actually break this final judgment that was just set. Which means that at that point, the SEC can go, wow, this man didn't learn anything. Okay, fuck it. We're actually going to go ahead with suing him for the full $108 million. So he might want to be careful how he continues on with this thing going forward now. You know, the good news is now we can, go, hey, Ash, you're not allowed to be out here selling anything. Profits, how? He has bills past due. Maybe the bills don't equate to, maybe that's why it's not the whole $108 million. Maybe the rest of that had to go on to bills. Maybe that's all that was left after that. Because that would probably also have to come into the math too. Think about that stuff. According to Ash and the founders, this is a total exoneration with no future restrictions. Well, they're lying. So I literally just read it to you. The SEC says he can't operate or even be a part of, which means he also can't join as a distributor. They're saying, no, sir, you have to stay away from these things for 8 years. All right, go put a rest. Go have a rest with it. Probably because they're like, we've been following you for over 8 years of you doing these. Guilty as charged. He just does not. He accepts that, yes, this is what happened. Yeah, he did these things. Yeah, he'll pay back what they say he has to, and he'll pay the fine. But he's not going to actually tell us what happens. And, yeah. He did get his wife off, which, I was kind of like, does the poor woman even know, like, what's going on, Like, we don't know. So, good news? Nah. All right news, I would say. All right news. We should start an oblast to pay for this, right? Ash needs to assign the payment in O-coin. They'd be pissed. I thought his wife was part of the chart. She was, but the first paper, they removed her. They said, never mind the money that she took. So maybe that was the whole $108 million. So I don't know. Ash shifting operations overseas. Well, we knew that was going to happen. I think they're talking about you have to get the funds from the money that is kind of like frozen. And I don't know how Ash would go about doing that. So that should be interesting. It's going to be an interesting webinar. Yeah, I doubt he'll do it, though. You texted Chris. Good. He's going to sign up for an affiliate program and tell everyone to buy stuff off him. He's not allowed to sell anything. So affiliate programs, too, he's not allowed. Wonder if the SEC will accept Golden Corral gift cards. Probably not. It's going to have to get a dreaded JOB. I want to see the Morlock transcript. That would have been fun for sure. Ash has never gotten his wife off. Unfortunately, founders are going to think Ash is helping the SEC retrieve. That's what Ash will probably tell them, too. Because he's already said that, right? That he's going to help them retrieve the funds from Dubai. They won't understand the implication, though. It's not because he's a good guy. That's right. He'll probably spin it like that even more. She lives with Ash. She's been through hell, right? I wouldn't want to be her. Just saying. Straight to jail, I wish. I wish. Ash is going to be caught doing a $4 million transfer in 10 days. Well, it does make you wonder if he's going to try to pull off something right quick to make a big buy-in fund again to be able to go pay that off quickly. Otherwise, I'm not really sure where he's going to be getting that money from, I don't think he's barred from affiliate programs, real affiliate programs, only MLM. No, it said he's also sold from any sales. Barred from any sales. You cannot make any sales. He cannot be involved in anything that involves him making a sale, which would also be a real affiliate program. He also cannot work in marketing. He cannot market. He cannot sell. So he couldn't even market it. That's what they're doing. Which, if they actually, do go and sue him if he breaks that, then that would be good. I have a feeling that's what will happen. That's why he wanted the money back from Marty. Probably. Probably why. If Ash had $4 million, he could have paid AWS to continue the charade. Well, see, that's a good point, right? And that's why I'm like, I don't know how he's going to get his $4 million together in the next 10 days. But he's agreed to it, so. But you would think that he would have paid that bill then, right? Ash having to live by his own video. He will be terminated. No joke. That's right. Unfortunately, now though, it's like, OnPassive is terminated. See? It makes you wonder a little bit about that too. Makes you wonder.
We will terminate you without a notice. You're gone. No joke. We will terminate you without a notice.
That's right. You've been terminated without a notice. Although I'm pretty sure Ash had notice. He probably knew this was coming. You know, that they were going back and forth for quite a while there. Remember, they extended it and everything. So, you know, that's why they came to that agreement. So, is it a total win for us? No. It would have been nice if he had to pay back the whole $108 million. But, you know, he does have to pay something. He is getting fined. You hope that this man would learn from these mistakes, but it's not looking good. Not looking good. You've been pruned, bruh. That's right. Chris will drive by Marty's house in his RV and shoot out Marty's porch light. Send a message. That would be kind of funny, you have to admit. You do. So no more long-winded webinars from Ash, not for 8 years. At least there shouldn't be. Again, I'm even more excited now to find out what's going to happen on Thursday when they do their live. I'm hoping to stream snipe it. I am hoping to stream snipe it, so stay tuned for that. That's all I've got for you guys today. I've got to take off now. But I'm happy that he is being fined and that he is being made to pay some money back. He is being made to pay some money, so there is that, you know? So there's good news and there's bad news with it. What about Marty's meeting tonight? There is a meeting tonight with Marty. Marty is going to be doing some stuff with that, so I was thinking we might talk about that tomorrow because I have Randy's webinar. Randy's really fun, so don't want to miss President Randy. So I'll probably try to mess with that later, though. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I love all of you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me, and I'm glad that we had an update. That was kind of cool. So now that we know what's expected, we just got to wait and see if he does it. Let me know if you guys think that he's going to actually be able to pay this money back and what you think is going to happen with all of this. And I will see you all with another one tomorrow. Like always, we're in it to win it.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your
Bye.
friend. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's the call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again. I've been answering them over and over. It's not the answer you want, but yeah. Only Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to Crazy Man talking about their experiences.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a fabulous rest of your night. Ladies, do it. Bye.
Stop going. That negative PG kid has got more followers on it than I do on my PG kid. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name's Ash Mufareh.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name's Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. Let's go to Kaya.